You are now listening to the J Porks Experience. Listen free on iTunes or at theandydareshow.com. Now, here's Jay.
Yo, what is the word, people? Welcome to another action-packed edition of the J Porks Experience. I'm Jay Porks. With me, as always, on the other side of the glass, making sure this is a well-oiled podcast machine every week, is nobody. Got a lot of stuff to get to. A lot of stuff that basically has nothing to do with the foundation of society, but little tedious things that bother me that I'm going to share with you. But first, I'm going to give you the list of websites you need to go to help keep me in business. First of all, I need you to go to concertconfessions.com. That's for all your live music, news and reviews, for the fans, by the fans. What's going on the scroll this week? Well, we have Powerman 5000 headed down to Kokomo on a Friday night. Indiana, that is. Our buddy Concert Chick was there. She's got photos. She's got words. She's got things. Because who doesn't like things and stuff, right? And I encourage you, while you're at Concert Confessions, to please go hit these Amazon ads. Because you're going to buy stuff anyway, and I mean, you know, why don't you help me out? Help us all out. You know what you can buy me? You can buy me something that makes it possible for me to record the podcast on my new Dell Inspiron 15 and not my old school netbook bullshit, which I'm doing right now. It doesn't have a mic jack. I ordered the USB converter jack thing. Didn't work. I ordered another one. Didn't work. So now I'm here. Doing this. Also, ChristinaRocks.com, Hang the DJ, 89xradio.com every Sunday morning. She's hosting the Time Warp. Throwback alternative, throwing it back like it's Thursday, only on Sunday. And she rocks out. She hangs out with a wang out all the time. Hang the DJ. And you can get her on Twitter at Christina Rocks and give her some unsolicited requests. And tell them they came courtesy of me. How do I sound? Do I sound alright? I got a mic stand here. I got a mic stand and I'm not sure if it's good. I'm not sure if it's good, or if it's bad, or if I'm too close, or if I'm too far, or what. So I guess what I'm going to do is keep the first part short. Or maybe I'll just pause it and you won't even know. I'll just continue it. Anyway, continuing on. ChristinaRocks.com. I would have listened to her on Sunday, but unfortunately, they got me working for the man on Sundays. And I don't wake up early enough. The struggle is real, folks. Hashtag server problems. I also need you to go to theandydareshow.com. That's for all your Deer Network podcast needs. Now, whether your taste buds have the flavor for the Tyler Cale Show, whether your palate is paired with the right red wine to go with the Andy Deer Show, or whether you just want to fuck around with some J Porks Experience action, all of that and more at theandydareshow.com. Get them on Deer Network, on Twitter, and we'll do that. And the headlines are powered by Annie Quiet. I'm going to do the headlines later. But they are powered by Annie Quiet. I will do the powered by Annie Quiet later on. You know, I was at the bus stop the other day, and I couldn't help but notice that there was an ad, a post on the bus stop for the film adaptation of one of the only books I liked as a child, and that would be The Giver. This is only the second time in my life that I will ever get to be the "but did you read the book" guy. I've never been that guy. Great Expectations was the only thing I was that guy, and I only read that in drug rehab because my dad sent it to me. But other than that, this is going to be the second movie that I've read the book. I've read this book numerous times. Take you back to 5th grade. PS 115, Canarsie, Brooklyn, Miss Ginsburg. We read the book, The Giver. And then my first year out in the good old island of Staten was 7th grade. And we read it in 7th grade too. I guess it shows you where I went academically. Like I must have been in the faster classes in 5th grade, but by the time I made it to 7th grade, not so smart anymore. I'll never forget the teacher, Miss Seduto. She was the heir to the Seduto ice cream fortune, or at least that's what the pearls around her neck indicated. And I'll never forget how she called me. She would always tell me. She would always say to me, Mr. Dawes in house. Just like that. Mr. Dawes in house. So every time, my first weed dealer was in that class. This girl, Brittany, who I used to pass notes to, was in that class. I gotta find that girl, Brittany, on Facebook now that I'm skinny. I mean, and I remember reading The Giver. And it's a children's novel that came out in '93. This is, I probably read it so many times because it was newly out. But basically, it's a children's novel by Lois Lowry, set in a society in which first presented as a utopian society, and gradually appears more and more dystopian. It follows this kid Jonas through his 12th year of life. The first chapter, some plane flies over the town, and they get freaked out because these people have never seen a plane, they don't know pain, they don't know suffering, they don't know feelings, they don't know decisions. It's kind of almost what America is now already, but one guy knows the truth, and he passes along these memories to some other guy. Anyway. So, I mean, I'm not sitting here and saying that this is some Charles Dickens novel. I'm not sitting here saying that The Giver is some great American classic that cannot be touched with. But when I look at the movie trailer and I see Taylor Swift is in the fucking movie, you can see where that would bother me just a little bit. Jeff Bridges is going to play The Giver. And Meryl Streep is in the movie. I don't know what she does in the movie. She wasn't in the trailer. But Rolling Stone had a trailer. So I checked it out. So it comes out on the 15th. It comes out this Friday. So I figured if I was... Here's what I learned that sometimes if I don't get something in the podcast, to just say that I'll put it in next week never works that way. Never ever works. So everything I got for this week, I'm spilling this week. And that comes out on the 15th, so I'm glad that I got to mention The Giver here in my first couple of minutes. I'm just glad that I got to do that. So when that movie sucks, remember that I told you that it sucked. And if I could find a copy of The Giver here somewhere, I'm going to read it again. Because it's fucking rad. Okay. There's that. Basically, I tweeted this out the other day. Basically, what I'm... It's like 45 episodes. I think. Close to it. Almost at 50. I've basically decided what this podcast is going to be. This podcast is going to be a blitzkrieg of the music headlines. It's going to be server problems. And it's going to be me complaining about dating websites. Perfect segue into my next topic. Here's the thing. Now, you hear me complain. I know I sound like it's fucking Thirsty Thursday every time I come on here and I complain about the sad state of affairs that go on in the world of online dating. But the fact is, it's fucking sad, and the fact is, it's fucking annoying. Let me just think about this for a second. It's one thing to see people you know on dating websites. It's another thing to see people you've been inside of on dating websites. It's another thing to see people you spent 5 years of your life going in and out of going in and inside and out of on a daily basis. You see these people on dating websites, and you see that their profile is littered with lies, much like it was a novel written by George Costanza. You don't have that job. That's not your personality. You do play games. If you didn't play games, you're the queen of games. You're not family oriented. You hate your family. I know you. You may be able to lie to all these guys you're trying to get to take you out to dinner down by the fucking tiki bar down at the shore with all the rest of the retards in this fucking world. The rest of Staten Island's doing at fucking DJs blacking out, day drinking. You know what day drinking is? You know what? In the future, I'm going to be a fucking loser. That's what day drinking equals. Unless you have some, like, real 9-to-5 job. Like, I have my boss at the restaurant's a fireman, and he also owns the restaurant. So when he's not working, I expect him to get blacked out drunk. And because he's Irish. But when I see everybody I know is day drinking at DJs. DJs is this bar down the shore, I think. It's this tiki bar. I don't really know what it is. I've just seen it in pictures. And from what I know is, this is the place you go if you want to take drugs and have nobody know about it, like on your block. Because you're from Staten Island. Staten Island's a small place. Staten Island is like high school. A lot of people know a lot of people. Chances are you talk to somebody for a long enough time, you're going to figure out where you have mutual friends. That's basically how it is. But when you go down to the shore, it's like you're invisible. It's like you're a new person. You can be a thought, and it's acceptable because nobody knows. Nobody knows you're there. And then when you come back, you just say, I got so drunk I blacked out, even though you remember every inch of that man's penis you took inside you. You remember every drop of his semen that hit your face. But because you sniffed half of a Percocet and you weren't around anyone who knows you and no one caught a picture of you and threw it on the Vine, you think it's okay to just call that blacking out. I call that being a whore. But that's just me. Let's not split hairs. We don't have to split hairs. I call it being a slut. You know, I don't mean to steal the Bill. This is a total Bill Hicks line here. But all these people focused on the beach. It's where dirt meets water. Who the fuck cares? I have a bathtub and an imagination. I'll have fun this summer. Listen to music I like. I haven't had a drink in 2014. That's not necessarily on purpose. I just don't like to. I don't go to bars. I don't go out to places where I'm having a drink. You know, I just want to smoke weed. I'm sorry. And reading the New York Times the past week, I mean, reading all the science. I mean, listen, if it's legal for you to go and have a drink right now, why can't I go smoke some weed? It's stupid already. No one has ever died from it. No one. Zero. No one has ever died from marijuana. It's not like, oh, a couple of people died. We gotta be careful. Nobody. It's never happened. Got Twitter open to my right here. So The Giver. The Giver, dating websites. Just don't tell lies. When did you get a bachelor's? When did you get an associate's degree? Did I miss that part of your life? Because I stalk your Facebook enough where I know things about you. I'm just creepy enough where I know that you're a complete and utter bullshitter. And yes, I took a screenshot of your profile. And yes, I was reading it to everybody at work. Of course I did that. Are you kidding? When I go to work on Tuesday, I'm gonna fucking read it to the tables. See, that's the thing. If I'm in the restaurant and I have a problem, and it's an arbitrary problem, like between me and a server, say me and a server are debating an issue, or me and a person in the front of the debate, I'll bring it to the table. Let's see what they got to say about it. Let's get them involved. Speaking of work, I'm training 2 girls. Well, I'm not training 2 girls. Let's stop that right there. There are 2 girls who are training at the restaurant I work, and out of the 2 of them, I'm hoping I could squeeze some coverage out of them so I can go see Kasabian on September 26th at Terminal 5, Jay Mascis on October 17th at Bowery Ballroom. Then I want to see the Meat Puppets on the Monday before Halloween in Philly. I want to see the Meat Puppets on Halloween at Rough Trade in Brooklyn, and also November 1st at Rough Trade in Brooklyn. Now, I remember in my first handful of podcasts, I told you that I would personally take myself down to Rough Trade Records and investigate that shit for you. And wouldn't you know it, I'm going to do that. If I can get the damn coverage. So, still on server life. You know, I read all these list articles about these restaurants and servers, not servants. 31 things your waiter wishes you knew. Now, all these articles have one thing in common. And the one thing in common is that they're based on these regionally managed places, these middle America Applebee's type joints where there's a bar, there's bussers, runners, and they're all in on your tip, and it's corporate, and the regional manager comes in and makes sure you're wearing the right color socks with your outfit. It's much like at Pizza Hut back when I was a youth. Pam knows this. Pam will remember. When the regional manager comes to Pizza Hut and makes you put the cheese ring on the pizza, so you make sure that the cheese is not within an inch. I think it's an inch or a half inch or 3/4 of an inch from the end of the pan, because Pizza Hut's got the pan pizza and they didn't want to put the cheese to the end. So they made you put the cheese ring. Meanwhile, I mean, the cheese ring, I don't think it touched the dough. I think cheese was able to slide under it anyway. And if you've made more than 3 pizzas, chances are that you can kind of guesstimate how not to get that close to the edge of the pan. And also the scoopers. You had to scoop the cheese with these plastic scoopers. Now, I know it's sanitary, but do me a favor and just let me wear a glove while I'm doing that and scoop the cheese with my hands, because when you scoop cheese with a scooper, the shredded mozzarella, it balls up and it doesn't shake out like it's supposed to when you're making a pizza. I mean, if there's one person on the Deer network of podcasts who, when they're talking about how to make a pizza, you should listen to, if it's not Chicago Deep Dish, you should listen to me. You need to spread that cheese. Spread it and forget it. Anyway, servers not servants, 31 things your waiter wishes you knew. And I always see these things, and sometimes they're accurate, sometimes they're not, and sometimes they're just missing the ball. They're just totally missing the ball. So I'm gonna read their list, and I'm gonna correct them. Your seat is not random. Based on the server section rotation, upcoming reservations, and restaurant policies, there is a very strategic reason why you are placed where you are. When you are entitled to sit wherever you want, know that it isn't personal if we sit you by the kitchen and not by the window. When people walk in, unless I have tables waiting, I say have a seat wherever you like. I don't care if 2 people sit at a 4-top. We only have we have two 2-tops in my restaurant out of the 10 tables, and the 2 tops are small. I can't fit the food on them, so I'd rather you just sit at a 4-person table. Doesn't bother me. I never have people waiting. So, number 1, wrong. Do not interrupt your server during his or her introduction. Your server simply wants to welcome you, tell you his or her name for future reference, and ask if you want to hear the specials. It is rude to interrupt. Your drink order can wait 30 seconds. That's completely wrong. Besides the don't interrupt the interruption part. I'll tell you how things go down at a little place called Primo Pizza. Now, I go to the table, I have the menus, and I say, hello, la la la. Hey guys, want something to drink? What's your whistles? That's it. I'm out. I'm not reading you the specials right there. My main goal is to come there, drop the menus, get your drink order. It can't wait 30 seconds. Give it to me immediately. If I say, would you like something to drink, and you say, what are your specials, that's going to piss me off. I'm dictating the meal here. If I wasn't dictating the meal, you'd be eating at your house. So follow the fucking rules. And don't fuck up my Seinfeld hello. Hello, la la la. People are like, oh my god, that's from that Seinfeld episode. I'm like, yeah, season 9, episode 2, The Voice, Kramerica Industries. Kramer has an intern. The oil bladder. George, they're trying to get rid of Georgia Planow. I get it. I've seen the show a couple of times. Hence why I'm greeting you with the fucking line from the show. But it is rude to interrupt. And don't ask for the specials. I wrote them on the board. You can't fucking read, you idiot? And this next one says, if you're in a rush, tell us as soon as we greet you. I'm not even going to read it because I'm just going to address it like this. If you're in a rush, eat at home. If you're in a rush, get a banquet TV dinner, pop it in your microwave for 2.5 minutes, and let it sit there for a minute as it finishes cooking. Don't forget to make the slit in the plastic before you microwave the macaroni and cheese. You didn't cook like yesterday. Not yesterday, Sunday. One of the girls at the counter, she says, a table just called. They ordered their food on the phone, but they want to eat it here. They just want it to be ready when they walk in. I'm like, okay, what'd they get? A chicken roll and a slice. That takes 55 seconds to heat up in the oven. They needed to call it in? So I don't want. These are the people I don't want to deal with. So if you're in a rush, if you get somewhere to go, either get it delivered or don't eat out. You've chosen to eat out because you're here to kill at least a little bit of time. I understand not everyone wants to eat for 4 hours, but you're here to kill at least a little bit of time. Oh boy. As I click the button that takes me off the page. I gotta tell you, I'm really not as good at this podcasting thing as I thought I'd be. I mean, it's fun, but I could use some pointers. Only tell your server you're ready when you're actually ready. This is something I can't stand. Now, I have no time limit. I don't have people waiting. There is no reason I need to come over to the table unless you give me the where's my way to head nod with the raised eyebrows and the confused look in your eye. If you call me over and you say, you're not ready. You weren't ready. And don't ask me for your fucking suggestions. Don't ask me for your suggestions because I'm a waiter. I can't afford to eat here. I don't know what's good. I make $3 an hour. And there's one that says make eye contact with the server when ordering. I mean, do me a favor. I'm writing it down. Or if you check my Instagram, I'm drawing a thing that says hate my life as you're telling me your order. I'm not looking at you. Why would I look at you? You think I want to look at your stupid fucking face? So don't you dare fucking say that you're ready when you're not. And don't expect me to make eye contact with you. And this idea that the substitutions and the extra, people want stuff extra. And then they get upset when they're not when they're charged extra money. Dude, shit ain't free. And here's the thing. We have a dish. Speaking of substitutions, we have a dish shrimp and crab meat over linguine. It's a pasta dish that's $19 or $20. I don't like shrimp or crab meat. Smells pretty good, looks pretty good. A lot of people order it. It's way big on pasta night because people like to get buy one get one free on the expensive pastas. They think they're getting over on me because they got a $19 pasta free. But when you order shrimp or crab meat, my question to you is red sauce or white sauce. If you tell me you want it in Alfredo sauce, that's a problem. Now, it doesn't bother me personally, but it bothers the kitchen. Why? I don't know why. But when it bothers the kitchen, they're going to in turn bother me at some other table for the rest of the night. So just know that not only are your hard suggestions annoying to me, not only are they annoying to management, not only are they annoying to the people that's management, the people in the front I have to ask for what the price is, they're going to be annoying to you later, but they're annoying to the kitchen. In turn, annoys me later. There's a thing that says waiters don't make the drinks. See, at a place like Applebee's, you might have a busser or a runner or a bartender that makes your drinks. I make all the drinks. The reason why your shit is late is because of me. I don't trust the busboy to do it because the busboy sucks. Here's another one. We're not here to steal your girlfriend/boyfriend. But honestly, I got my hand raised. I am here to steal your girlfriend. You know what the problem is, though? Somewhere along the line, somewhere during this meal, she found out I was a waiter. That ruined it for me. You know, she found out that I made $3 a fucking hour and I had no fucking life. She realized that I bring food to tables for a living and decided that I was somebody that she did not want to have sex with. So don't worry, bro. Don't worry, you juice bag, typical Staten Island asshole. I'm not taking your girlfriend. Most importantly, because of my profession. Why am I being nice? Because you guys give me a tip. There's another one that says, just remember that this job is not your server's your server, this is not his career. He or she is working towards bigger and better things. Not me. This is the life. Where am I going? What can I do? What skills do I have? Leave a cash tip. No. I know there are some places that if you leave your tip on the credit card, you have to it's hard to get or something. Or the restaurant likes to take a percentage. They try to charge you. There's a swipe fee for credit cards. I don't know. It's $2 or something. I don't know why. That's why some places have a minimum of credit cards on credit card orders. But it says leave a cash tip because your waiter would appreciate it. I'll be honest with you. I don't care. If you want to leave me $20 and you pay with a credit card and you only have $19 in your wallet, I'd rather you leave the $20 on the credit card. I don't care. Cash in, what's the matter to me? I'm getting the same money. Maybe that's how it works in some chain restaurant place, but no one cares about none of these articles focus on the mom and pop shops, the places where one dead night can end your career as a server. One dead night and your restaurant's closed. One dead night and you're not working there anymore. Could happen. Servers make $2 to $3 dollars an hour. That's true. And I spoke about the substitutions. People like to say, hook it up. Hook me up, hook it up. This idea that people want to ask for extra stuff and get it for free, or the hook me up notion. I need this job more than you like me, and I need this job more than you need sun-dried tomatoes in your pasta for free. I'm charging you 75 cents. Get over it. I'm not getting fired because you were moderately attractive and I didn't want to charge you 75 cents for an extra slice of artichoke or whatever the fuck you're asking for. Whatever weird fucking thing you want. And don't you ever ask your waiter how much something cost. Well, know why? Because I already know where this is going. We already know where this is going. You know where it's going? It's going straight down to $5 tip city. That's where it's going. Where the grass is brown and shit ain't pretty. Oh, won't you please tip me more? Yeah. That's where it's going. If you have any price inquiries, you are not leaving me a good tip. So just save it and shut the fuck up. Learn how to eat. And NPR's got a Your Waiter Wants You to Put Your Phone Down article. I've had a lot of bosses who tell me they want their waiter to put their phone down, but your waiter wants you to put your phone down because people are distracted. People are just crybabies now. I understand that you did a study. I don't work in a place where if you work in a place where there's a line and people are waiting for a table, then I would think the people who are throwing their food on Instagram would see that and have the common courtesy to hurry up and leave. I mean, who works in these thriving establishments that an extra 10 minutes spent because you were picking which filter would go good with your filet of sole oregano with a side of spaghetti? I don't understand what's the big deal about 7 to 10 minutes? Who the fuck cares? This is just, you need something to complain. I mean, these are like, we need to complain about everything in the world. I would appreciate it if more people took out their phones, took pictures of their food, took pictures of me, threw that shit on the gram, and hashtagged it with awesome waiter, just so I can get some traction. I'm begging people to throw me on Yelp. And I never tell them my name. Why would I want them to know my name? NPR is calling it iPhone-itis. No one dares behave if they have nothing urgent in the world outside their dining table, so it's all cell phones all the time. Shut up, dude. Get a life. Let's do the headlines. Back after this.
Hey everybody, it's Andy from the Andy Dare Show here. Just want to say that I am super proud to have the J Porks Experience be part of Dare Network. And if you want to keep my little podcast network completely free, all you got to do is go to theandydareshow.com, look on the right-hand side of the page, and you'll click on the Amazon banners for all your Amazon needs, and you'll tip your cap to the J Porks Experience and all the fine broadcasting here on Dare Network. Also, be sure to follow Jay on Twitter at JPorks, Instagram at JPorks, and jporks.blogspot.com. Thank you so much for listening, and back to the J Porks Experience.
And we're back. So I was the other night I was watching TV and my phone went ding and I saw Ticketmaster. The Ticketmaster app had sent me an alert to let me know that Alanis Morissette was going to be playing at Caesars Atlantic City at an intimate acoustic show that wasn't on sale yet. They wanted to let me know that was happening. Ticketmaster. I've been to 95 concerts. I've reported on 95 concerts. You would think by now that you'd have an idea of what shows I'm going. I mean, you ought to know that I ain't going to see Alanis Morissette. So happy I squeezed that in. Did you get it? Because you ought to know, like the song, like the Dave Coulier song. Because the joke that you made in the bed that was, that song. You get it? It's funny. It was a long way to go to a pun, but you like my puns. You love my fucking puns. I'm so fucking punny. All right. The headlines. The headlines are always powered by Annie Quiet. That's your source for quality. Dude, you ain't getting quality unless you're going to Annie Quiet. True story. And where is Annie Quiet? I just had it open. Okay, Iranian band The Muckers hint at looming zeitgeist with guns. The Muckers may have seized on one essential element on that current Iranian youth has been in dire need of. See, you can't say that you don't get diversity when you open up Annie Quiet. And live shots, Korn and Avenged Sevenfold bring Mayhem Festival to Oklahoma City. And this week in musical guests. Let's see who's on TV this week. Well, uh, David Letterman's got reruns. Okay. Jimmy Fallon, the Tonight. I still can't believe that Jimmy Fallon is the host of the motherfucking Tonight Show. Oh my god. I just keep thinking about Peter Griffin beating him up in that Family Guy episode where Meg gets a makeover. But Spoon's gonna be on the Tonight Show Monday night, The Head and the Heart. Tuesday, Wiz Khalifa on Wednesday, T.I. on Thursday. On Jimmy Kimmel Live, Disclosure Monday, Jake Owen on Tuesday, the Mighty Mighty Boss Stones on Wednesday because I guess it's 1999, and Banks will be on Thursday. On Seth Meyers, we got Rixton. We've got on Monday, we've got Chase Rice on Wednesday. Conan, Nikki Lane's going to be on Monday. Jamie Scott is on Tuesday. And on The Daily Show on Wednesday, am I reading? Oh my god. That was last week. See, I never said that I was that smart of a guy, okay? I never said I was that smart of a guy. Okay, so good thing most of those were reruns because this article I just read to you was from last week, and I only knew that when I saw Wu-Tang Clan on the Daily Show because I watched that performance the other day on YouTube or on some website. I don't know where it was, but I will share the video with you on the notes. Wu-Tang Clan repping Staten Island hardcore on Jon Stewart on the Daily Show with Jon Stewart, and that was on Wednesday. Okay, I should read things before I read them in my taped non-live podcast that I could easily go back and edit. But why would I? If I go back and edit, then it's not real, and I'm only here to keeps it reals with you. That's all I'm about. And as of Monday morning, the Foo Fighters' new album Sonic Highways, the details are being revealed. They've been teasing details of their new album Sonic Highways, and today they've laid the cards on the table. Sonic Highways will be out November 10th. You could pre-order it at, I believe, the band's website at sonichighways.foofighters.com. The cover art looks like a combination of 9 different cities from above. I could already say that that's probably the best part of this album. And there's going to be there's a trailer you can check out. I'm not going to share it with you. You'll find it. And it'll be out November 10th. So for all you waiting to get your Foo Fighters fix, wait no mas, mi amigo, because that ish is coming. And Leonard Cohen's gonna mark his 80th birthday by releasing the new album Popular Problems. This is coming from Stereo Gum. Leonard Cohen has always been the old man in the room. When he released Songs of Leonard Cohen, his incredible 1967 debut album, he was already well into his 30s, and he sounded older than that. And as Rolling Stone reports, Cohen is planning on releasing an album called Popular Problems this fall, right around his 80th birthday. News of the album got around last week at a Dublin fan convention called Leonard Cohen Event 2014. That sounds awesome, by the way. They should call it Cohen Con. And while Cohen's camp hasn't officially confirmed a release date, Amazon France has the release listed for September 22nd. Leonard Cohen's last album was 2012's Old Ideas, and it was great. While Cohen toured behind that album, he's apparently told fan club Liaison Yarko Artisidral, I can't pronounce that fucking name, that he won't tour behind this one. So, new music from Leonard Cohen. Leonard Cohen, if you need him. Are people still mad about Adam Sandler doing Hallelujah at 12 People were so mad at that. Oh, and I'm so glad I just remembered this. Well, I'm not glad I remembered this, but Tony Stewart went Tony Stewart on somebody, and I don't mean verbally. Tony Stewart ran over some guy and killed him, the NASCAR driver. Now, what's important about that is NASCAR is going to come out and issue Tony Stewart a 2-race suspension for his actions. Just like, no, I really don't know what the penalty is going to be, but Tony Stewart cut some driver off. Some driver got out of the car and was like pointing at him on the track. Next thing you know, you see this guy go flying. I'm going to share the video on the notes. It'll be at jporks.com. When this thing goes live, it'll be at jporks.com. And I'll show you the video. It's really, you watch somebody die. It's a little weird. I don't think I've seen somebody die before. I mean, that wasn't like in a hospital. So, he won't race this weekend. But it's like Ray Rice. Ray Rice beats his wife. He can't play football for 2 games. I wonder what Tony Stewart's gonna get. No more minimum than 5 races, because the police already said that they can't charge him. Crazy. And Twitter was all abuzz when the story was first breaking. They couldn't confirm it. Deadspin didn't release the video yet, so ESPN wasn't reporting on it, and everyone's on Twitter and they're saying look at ESPN taking the moral high ground and not reporting on this story until they got all the details. Taking the moral high ground? Dude, they have NASCAR. They have NASCAR on their channel. You think they want somebody to die on the track? They would not report about it at all if they didn't have to. They would try to ignore it. Tony Stewart killed some guy, big deal. And they're like, Tony Stewart's not going to race this weekend. He's not going to be racing for a lot of weekends, bro. Trust me. That Tony Stewart is a badass thing just took up a whole new fucking level now. Maybe the guy can win a race. Do himself a favor, win a race. Get in the chase. Not that I watch cars turning left on TV. I mean, here's the thing about NASCAR. First of all, I don't see it as a sport because there's no baskets, there's no balls, there's no athletic There's nothing athletic about it. You're not taking your even X Games, even motocross and stuff like that. Even though you're sitting down on a bike and stuff, at least you're flipping your shit in the air. NASCAR, you're driving left. And the thing I love about NASCAR, and by love I mean loathe, is that they have delays when it rains. Here's the thing about driving. If you're driving in the street, and don't ask me because I don't know anything about driving. I don't drive. Ask Andy. Andy knows. When it rains, does Andy not drive his car? Raining is a part of the driving experience. I understand they're going 200 miles an hour and people die anyway, as you can see, hence Tony Stewart running over some guy, literally. But if you're going to say that we drive cars competitively, wouldn't you need the natural element? If you're going to do it outside, just have the races inside then. Why are you even racing outside? If when it drizzles, you're going to stop. Now, that would be interesting. Have some snow coming down and let's see who wins the fucking race. With these guys going 20 miles an hour trying not to fucking spin out. Let's see who wins the race then. Cars turning left. This is supposed to be entertainment. But still better than soccer. And you know what else is better than soccer? You know what I watched at work yesterday? The final round of the PGA Championship. Golf knows how to broadcast on television, and I'll tell you why. Golf, they only show you the shots. Now, you would think golf being the most boring thing in the world, most people call it a long walk spoiled, you would think that watching it on television would be really, really boring. But actually, they sync up the broadcast where they have different announce teams on different holes, like, we're going to shoot it over to 4. And let's go over to 6 and see what Rory McIlroy is up to. Like, they do stuff like that. They have the shots. I saw Hefty Lefty. The tax evader, Phil Mickelson, I saw him make a nice eagle putt, or I think it might have been a birdie. It was a long birdie. And there's one person listening to this podcast saying, yeah, I beat Jay in mini golf in Atlantic City. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. What else is going on? No, seriously. I'm out of things. Oh, no, I'm not out of things. Thursday night, I was working. And I turned on the television, and you know what happened? The Jets were on TV. And I died a little on the inside. Because I've mentioned to you people before, the best time about being a Jet fan, the best days of the year to be a fan of the New York Football Jets are when the season is not happening. Because the team is dreadful. I know they beat the Colts in preseason in a 13-10 barn burner. I had a table of 22 people whose bill got up to like $700, so I was engulfed in what they were doing. But at the same time, I kept looking at the TV and I found myself not excited about football. And I think it's been like that for the last couple of I've worked Sundays. It's been the last couple of years I haven't really been excited with football. And plus, it's not like any other sport where I have a team. They'll never win. They'll never win. They're a Mickey Mouse franchise. They're inept. They've always been the second team in this town. This town being New Jersey. For some reason, the Jets and Giants are called the New York Jets and Giants, even though they play at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. They'll never be good. One of the guys competing for the quarterback position, his last heavy dose of competition was when he pitted dogs against each other in his dogfighting ring. I know people are like, get over it, Michael. Get over Michael Vick. I'm not getting over some guy who electrocuted dogs. I'm not doing that. I can't get over it. And I don't like dogs. I've said this before. I've went over this before because the Jets signed Michael Vick a couple of weeks ago, a long time ago, a couple of months ago. So I've addressed it before. I'm going to address it again. I'll even go so far as to say I dislike dogs. They're loud. I don't want to be licked. I don't want to walk you. Like Jerry Seinfeld used to say, if when you're walking around scooping up the dog's poop, if aliens are looking down at the humans right now, who do they think is in charge? And it's a true story. Who do they think is in charge if I'm walking around picking up my dog's poop? Cats have litter boxes. Cats don't bother me. But at the same time, I feel just as any dog owner would feel when I hear that Michael Vick had electrocuted dogs and killed dogs and had the dogs fighting against each other. And since they're pit bulls and they were trained to fight and they were on steroids and they were juiced up, when they tried to hang the dog, which just try not to think about that for a second because it's a sick, sick feeling, but when they were hanging the dog's neck wouldn't break because it was so strong that they had to attach jumper cables to one side of the dog and put the jumper cables in a bucket of water on the other side and electrocute the fucking dog till it died. Instead of, dropping it off at an animal shelter. That guy's my quarterback. He's my backup quarterback, but Geno Smith sucks. Trust me. Trust me. Johnny Football was on the board when we passed him in the draft. Should have taken him. Should have taken him. I know he's doing coke in Vegas every Monday, but we should have taken him. Server problems. Blogger problems. Ooh, one more thing. One more thing I'm going to say. If there's anyone out there that wants to make some money, I've got a job for you. I need some secretarial work done, if you'll call it that. I would like somebody to go to my YouTube page and download all the videos from YouTube from me off my page and copy them onto a flash drive. It's about 600 videos on there because I'm so afraid of getting my account taken down, and I'm not going to have the videos. So if anyone wants to do that, I'll pay you. I got money. If there's one thing I got, it's money. Which is rare because I make $3 an hour. But, when you have this as your server, when this guy comes over to your table and hits you with the hello la la la, and when your waiter comes over and asks, would you like to wet your whistle, and adds a little to it, when your waiter says, feel free to put the appetizers on Instagram, but if you do that, do me a favor and don't use the toaster filter because it messes up all the pictures. I'm more partial to Valencia, Heffy, or Kelvin. When I hit you with that, you can't do anything besides throw 20% at me. Not much you can do. And I was watching Paul O'Neill Day on Yes Network. Hail to the Warrior. Paul O'Neill, one of my favorite Yankees. Got a plaque in Monument Park. But as Mike Francesa says, everybody gets a plaque. Everybody gets a plaque now. Plaques aren't important anymore. Everybody gets one. They didn't retire his number, dude. They gave him a plaque. It's just a plaque. And Derek Jeter has more hits than any other shortstop in the history of baseball. He passed Honus Wagner, who was probably the best shortstop ever. So, when you want to have your Cal Ripken Jr. versus Derek Jeter arguments, you can stop having them. Because Derek Jeter never had to move to third base to keep his stupid streak alive. One more scroll of Twitter before I get out of here. Something might happen. Something might happen. Nothing happened. Alright. Nothing happened in my previous 10 tweets. Alright, so I'm going to give you a list of websites you need to go to help keep me in business before I get up out of here. First of all, there's ConcertConfessions.com, where I was born and bred. I call that shit Brooklyn. It's like Brooklyn, because I was born and bred there. I was showed the ropes. It taught me how to be a man. ConcertConfessions.com for all your live music, news and reviews. For fans, by fans. People hitting shows all the time. I'm telling you, I'm training. I got these 2 people training. If these girls work out, I'm going to get some coverage. I'm going to hit some motherfucking titty-sucking shows. And I'm going to bring you all the awesome words, photos, and videos that I am accustomed to bringing you on a daily basis, weekly basis, whatever basis. And when you're at Concert Confessions, click the Amazon ads. You're going to buy stuff anyway. I've got an Amazon wish list going. You buy me stuff. ChristinaRocks.com, hang the DJ, 89xradio.com every Sunday. Old school alternative, 8 to noon, throwing it back like it's Thursday, only on the weekend. Show her some love. Tweet at her at ChristinaRocks. Tell her that I sent you. I don't know how she'll react to that, but it'll be funny. Go to theandydeershow.com for all your Deer Network podcast needs. Whether that's the Andy Deer Show, the Tyler Kale Show, the Jay Porks Experience, and you could also listen for free on iTunes using the podcast app. That thing comes in handy when I'm listening to it at work, when I'm cleaning up. And always, your source for quality is AndyQuiet.com, and you need to always be there. And folks, I mean, if you got things you want me to discuss on the podcast, hit me up, tweet at me, at JPorks. You can go to get the show notes at jporks.com. No dots, no nothing. No blog spot, none of that shit. jporks.com brings you straight to the show notes, which happen every week. And every week, the link to the YouTube video of my podcast is in the notes, so you can click play, and then as the stuff I'm talking about, you can hit the links. Will be right there for you. Bam, 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 bam. Because I'm just here to make things easier for you. That's just what I do. I take the burden off your shoulders, and I put it onto mine. And go like my picture on Instagram of my beard shaped up. I finally went to the barbershop and got the beard laced up, and I look fucking dope. But anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about you. Till next week, whiskey, weed, and Warren Zevon. Motherfucker!
This has been the Jay Porks Experience. Thank you so much for listening.